So I've put this video together because I built this workshop, you can see now, and I'm rather proud of it, and I also want a bit of a record of its build and details about it, because I'm sure in a few years time I'll have forgotten all about it. So I've made this recording for that reason, and then thought, you know, people also, others that might want to look at somebody else's garage, workshop, what have you, and somebody might want to build their own thing as well, might find this interesting. So those of you that find that sort of thing interesting, crack on. But anybody who finds that sort of thing boring, hit the stop button now. That'll be my advice, because I'm going to go rabbiting on for some time and show you this workshop. Right, so anyway, so I'll quick walk around the outside, quick view inside. So how did this start? About 2019, end of 2019, I had this idea that I wanted to put a workshop together, and started researching it. So early 2020, I then did some research, had a look around, people who supplied garages, well, yes, garages, cabins and that sort of stuff. And early 2020, February, March I suppose, really, I was looking around at different things and eventually made a decision what I was going to go for, and I'll tell you a bit about that later. But then of course COVID happened, and so that meant of course that I couldn't really do anything. But anyway, during the spring come summer, we got the footing, if you like, the foundations and gravel and all this stuff built first of all, because we needed all that first of all. We did a lot of gravel work done, and the foundations. And I had our lovely friend and builder Mark Goodyear, who's very good builder, but I don't want to bang on about that too much, because whenever we want him to do any work for us, of course he's too busy because he's very good and nobody else wants him to do some work. So actually I'm not going to plug him at all. I'm going to keep that completely quiet. So no, Mark Goodyear, yeah, don't use him, he's rubbish. Right, so let's all look inside, and I'll tell you a bit more about it. So here we go. Right, what can I say? It's a 6 metre by 6 metre workshop called Daddy Pooh's Workshop. Thanks my eldest for that name. So yes, it's 6 by 6. The timber is slow grown white wood, and it's 44mm thick logs, as they call it. And yeah, it comes in sort of, yeah, kit form really. It comes in sort of plank form, individual planks, apart from doors and windows, which are already constructed obviously, and then you put those in. So you follow the, I say instructions, follow the diagrams really. There's not much in the way of written instructions, but to be honest, it's all pretty straightforward. You follow the diagrams, they're very good. Diagrams are very engineering diagrams, if you like, so they're very precise and give you good clues to what's what. So yes, so eventually we built this in October 2020, or thereabouts. Is it about October? I say we, me and my brother. I could not possibly have done this without help of my brother, so big shout out to him. Yeah, he's helped me build it, do the plumbing, and connect the wiring back to the house. So there we are. So what do we got here? So yeah, well, you can see all the conduits and what have you. So I've got power coming into the house, into the workshop from the house. Basically one ring mains and one lighting circuit. All in this 20mm conduit. Could I have gone for 25mm conduit? No, it's fine. It's what I used just multi-core wire, 1.5mm square for the lighting circuit, 2.5 for the mains, as I believe is the correct correct cable to use. And of course the multi-core stuff, which is a bit more expensive than the stuff you get in the old grey, you know, twin cable and earth wires, which I was going to use first of all. I didn't realise that this stuff existed, but this stuff is so much better to use in conduit, so definitely go for that stuff. Don't use the grey twin and earth cable, just do it like this. It's much better. As you can see, I've got a stack of sockets. Basically just put them everywhere, and so far they've been brilliant because you can be anywhere in the workshop, reach out basically, and you've got yourself a socket. So one thing you want to do at the beginning is, and this I had advice from my brother and numerous other people, is put more sockets than you think you're going to use, because you invariably use more than you think you'll need, more than you think you're going to need. So as you can see, loads of sockets. Also water coming in down here, underneath there, cold water in, and then we've got this tap. I thought I'd try this out. I'm not convinced. Well, no, it's really good. I don't know how long it's going to last for, but basically got an on-off switch there, power to here, and you put it on. Pops on, and you can see the temperature there. There you go, up this down. So if it comes up to temperature, and if you go, obviously you just make it slow enough, it'll get up to a hotter temperature. But obviously it's quite slow then, of course. But of course it has to spend time to, but you know, it works, and water comes out warm, and yeah. So far I'm really pleased with it. Okay. I wasn't quite sure how good it was going to be, but there you go. And of course these are obviously just two 3 metre kitchen work units, kitchen tops. You know, kitchen tops. There we go. It's kitchen tops, which I just had to cut down because I say it's 3 metres out. Sorry, 6 metres square. This workshop, but of course it's not quite. It's just slightly less, of course. So 2 3 metre kitchen tops work beautifully, and just had to chop them in between and then just join them back up again like that around this wood there. So yeah, and then nice big sink. Again, got this off the not again, but I did get this off the internet. 700 by 400 welded seamed, seems really good. Really chuffed with that. I really wanted something big that also you can get bits of engine in, etc. So yeah. So yeah, very pleased with that. Oh, the flooring is, well, it's got obviously it's concrete flooring, obviously, not obviously, but it is. But what's underneath here is Duratile tiles, which aren't the cheapest, but they're really robust, good, strong tiles. Yeah, things like you know, a sort of stand off a bike won't pierce it, which is what you want. They're solid tiles. They're not sort of like. You can get some cheaper ones where they're sort of they're hollow underneath. There's almost like a sort of honeycomb thing underneath, but these are solid. They're also, what I quite like about these is they're made from recycled yeah, plastic basically, as opposed to virgin plastic. So that was rather yeah, I was quite keen on that, I must admit. I've got a garage, and I've first used them in there, and they were really good. And I looked around again to see what else was on the market, but for the price and everything, these were excellent. So yeah, so I got those, and I think they're well worth it. I know you could do things like epoxy painting and a lot of stuff. I know some people who spend a lot of money on epoxy paint, and it starts peeling off for one reason or another, and you have to do it again. And I think overall these are much better. They're just 50mm square, and you just interlock them together. You get the vast majority you get down really quickly, but it's cutting the edges and getting them all fitting in well is the tricky bit. What I used was a jigsaw to cut them. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, entertainment system in the corner here, so I can watch MotoGP or whatever else is on whilst doing stuff on a bike or a car or whatever. Yeah, so there we go. Is it complete yet? Yeah, well, it's complete as it. Yeah, is anything ever complete? Is a big question, of course. So I think I'm going to put some extra lighting under here. Just under here, and just have another, basically bring the electric circuit round from this sort of lighting circuit round from here down into here. Have another switch for those, and just have about 4, I think, probably 4 sort of 1 foot LED under, like you get underneath the kitchen cabinets, really, just to give a bit more sort of direct light down here on the work surface. I think that'll be quite useful. So yes, I'm going to probably do that. I've got my these are noisy beasts, aren't they? The compressors. So the plan with that, again, a great suggestion from my brother, was I'm going to make a box and put it outside, and then just have it again on a spur, probably a bit like this switch here. I'll put that down, another one down here, specifically for that. So I'm going to switch it on. I just hit the on switch, and off it trundles, and it'll be sitting outside in an insulated box down there, and yeah, won't be too noisy. So there we go. Finally, where did I get this cabin from? It's a company called Quick Garden. Just type it in the interweb, and you'll find it. And yeah, it was. I'd heartily recommend the company. Really pleased with them. You know, it's like you do some research and you read some reviews and you think, is it going to work? Are they really good? Am I going to have problems? Because it's a fair amount of money. You talk about investing, and you don't know them. They don't have a base in the UK per se. They're all, well, the factory that they supply the factory from is where is it now? Not Liechtenstein. Anyway, somewhere else beginning with an L that escapes me. I'll come back to it in a minute. And I don't know whether that's where they're from, but they're really contactable, really nice people. They were really helpful, and I absolutely would. If I was going to go and buy another cabin, also I'm not going to, but if I was going to, then I would absolutely use them again, no hesitation. Yeah, they've been super helpful. Oh, and also you might notice over here, one of these panes is blown. You see it because of the sun, but anyway, there's a little bit of blown, so a bit of a blown thing. Then I contact them and say, oh yeah, no problem. They're going to send me a new pane to replace that. So after sales, as good as the pre-sales, which is always a lovely sign. So yeah, yeah, well chuffed with that. Oh, if anybody's interested, what are these bits of bike under here? Well, some of you'll guess. So 1976 or 5, I forget now. Honda 404. That's in bits, and has been for some time, but it's ready to. Now I've got the workshop up and running. Basically, all this stuff here is all bits of that bike, and over here is the frame. That's all been powder coated. So yeah, I've got to start. I've rebuilt the engine, which is sitting over here. It's virtually finished. A few bits and series on the side, but yeah, it's essentially rebuilt. Yeah, so now once I've serviced this for the coming spring and summer, then and I've got a Suzuki GT550 which needs a bit of servicing too. Once I've done that, then I'll be on to the 404, get that rebuilt, because it's been hanging around for probably it's been in progress for about a couple of years now, so it's embarrassingly long time, but that needs to be done. So there we go. Anyway, there we have it. I think I've covered everything there. Yeah. Oh, and somewhere along the line I might even post the odd picture of the sort of pre-work and the foundations being built, just the odd photograph. I'll remember how to slot that into the video somewhere. Okay, there we go.